So what you have essentially is, well, let me put it like this. You know how people say that people project onto you their bad qualities? I mean, projection is so deep. It could go anywhere from, especially when you're dealing with players and liars, a lot of time they will say to you, you're cheating on me, when they're cheating on you. You know what I'm saying? You're a liar, you're a narcissist, when they're liars and narcissists. You know what I'm saying? That's projection. You have extreme projection, like what happened to me psychotically, where someone studies your story and then tells everybody that it's their story. You know, that's extreme, and then tells everybody that you're them. Like all the things that they've done, they try to make people. That's like a sick thing. But projection in and of itself is about how you feel about yourself, how you're projecting that onto other people. When you're in some sort of emotional state, or when you're trying to get out of being held accountable. That's normally how we look at projection. You're projecting yourself onto me. I'm not listening to it. Right. But at the same time, do you know that you can also project your positive qualities onto other people? You can project your values onto other people and your positive qualities onto other people. I'm talking about people that do not have these qualities at all. So you have to be very careful, because yes, there is a negative side of this projection, but this side where you project your positive qualities on people is even more negative. It's even worse, especially when you're dealing with someone who is trying to mirror you in order to get something from you. They're already trying to study you and mirror you so that they can be the type of person that you want them to be, so that you won't see who they really are. And you add that to you projecting because you want something, like say you've been alone for a long time, or you've been in so many unhappy relationships that you just want a good relationship so bad that you end up getting with somebody and just trying to project what you want onto these people. What you end up having, especially if this person is smart, is someone who picks up on this and then reflects to you back the things that you're projecting onto them. Projection. There is no real positive side to it. I mean, there's a positive side to everything, but it's not going to look like what we're talking about now. The positive side of projection is only coming when you become aware of it and you learn something about yourself, about your own qualities, about your own nature. That's it. You know what I mean? But as it pertains to projecting something on somebody, no, it all can work. It always works against you. You are gaslighting yourself, essentially, to think you see something that's not there. And then you have us that try to be kind, nice, good people, and we want to see the best in everybody. But we have to be careful, because of the fact that we are kind and nice and good-hearted. We have a tendency to try to project that same energy onto other people who are not there. Of course, everyone has these traits inside of them. That's why we're able to project it and believe that we see it. But the bottom line is, they do not want to manifest these things. We can't fix anybody. We can't force anybody to be where they don't want to be. Yes, people have good sides to them. They have good in them. And many people will use the fact that they know they have this goodness in them to trap people, like in a spider web, a mental spider web. They'll use this. So you have to be very careful. How can you avoid getting yourself into the trap of misjudging people because of what you want, so that you don't project yourself onto other people and then be misguided months down the line, years down the line, when you find out that they're not this people. And you're saying to yourself, they just became this other person. No, they didn't just become this other person. What happened is their mask fell off, or they took it off. because they felt like they already had you. So this is how you can prevent yourself from falling into these traps. There's something that you seriously need to pay attention to, and this is what it is. You need to find out how their relationships with their children are, how their relationships with their parents were, how their relationships with their siblings are, how their relationships with their friends are. You need to see them in contact with their family, see them in contact with their friends, see them in contact with their children. You need to see this, and you need to not ignore what you see, because people will tell you anything or show you anything when you're alone with them. But they cannot hide to who they are when they are around multiple people. When they are around multiple people that have known them, that's when you find out who they truly are. And if you get around them when they're around multiple people that they've known in the past, and they get quiet when you're around, they're not being regular people, when they're around. When you're around, rather. Do I have to answer what that means? Good Lord, it was all in my face. And if I saw it, every time I come around them when they're around their family, they're quiet. But if I'm in the other room, they're not. So you see, you have to pay attention to these things. It's real important. Here's another example. If every relationship they've had that they talk to you about, they have never done anything wrong, they only try to present themselves as if they were good the whole time and somebody else was at fault. You tell me. We know naturally, we say it to ourselves all the time, that it takes two to tango. We know naturally that loss of a relationship is never only one person's fault. But it seems that because of what we want, we will ignore things that are right in our face that tell us that somebody is lying to us, holding things from us, omitting things from us. And they are doing that because they are guilty. They're guilty. They're not telling you certain things. Now, it may be that they had a bunch of relationships in a row that they were not ultimately responsible for the end of the relationship, but something they did. I guarantee you, there is nobody that's been in a relationship that hasn't done something wrong. Especially in one that fell apart terribly, where they have this crazy story about a tragedy that's happened where somebody is attacking them or something like that. There's always something. There's always something. And if they want to be honest with you and have a real relationship with you that's long lasting and everything like that, that they've grown from, they will have seen what they did wrong in that relationship. And they will say I statements. I did this. I allowed this. I hurt them this way. Or I didn't understand that I was doing this. Or something like that would happen. But if everything is about he, she, they did this, that, the other, they're trying to seek some sympathy and turn you against someone probably, or either they're just trying to simply make themselves seem better than what they are, and then with that sympathy, they look good, and you fall deeper into their trap. Do you want to get away from being in narcissistic or toxic relationships? This is how you do it. You pay attention to the cues that the people give you. Within the first week of the relationship, if they spaz out on you or something like that, and they don't even really know you, run. Run. Pay attention. Don't set yourself up. Don't set yourself up. Learn how they have acted in their old relationships in all areas. Watch them how they deal and treat with other people, their old friends and family members. Listen to the fact that they talk about their family members behind their back in a negative way. Find out about it. I mean, sometimes people will talk to you about how a family member hurt them, and that doesn't necessarily mean things. It just means that maybe they have something to heal from. Okay, so it's not always that, but it does give you an indication of what they're working with, what they need to work on, you know what I'm saying, who they truly are, how they deal with things, how they handle things, and how they will handle things with you. This is what it's going to teach you. You have to pay attention so that you can stay out of a trap that I fell into, so that you can stay out of a trap that you fell into before, you know? So here's the jewels. Take them. But ultimately, treat people good, give God his props, and be your authentic self, regardless of what anybody thinks. Ultimately. Take care of yourself. The love that you want to give to other people, give it to yourself first. Trust me, it will change the trajectory of the people that you attract to yourself. And stop trying to attract to yourself. Stop trying to go towards people that are damaged and hurt, but you see something good in them. You know, think bigger. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's wrong to think that, you know, imperfect people, we're all imperfect, but someone that is caught in trauma or something like that in a negative place, I'm not going to say that they can't heal. I'm not going to say that they can't grow. But they have to be in a place where they're already talking about that. They have to be in a place where their conversation is full of that information that they're giving you, that they're growing, that they're healing, that they're talking about God. They're talking about therapy. They're talking about healing. They're talking about growing. They're talking about coming together and growing in that way. If they're not having that conversation, then it's highly possible that they're just going to drag you down into hell with them. And if you want to trade that off for a couple moments of feeling good about yourself that they give you, that's not even real, it's something that they're manufacturing to keep you stuck there with them because they don't want to be alone, then by all means, do what you need to do for yourself. But I don't really think that's doing what you need to do for yourself. I think that's more like called codependency. You being afraid to be alone and just grabbing onto anybody that seems to momentarily or instantaneously make you feel a certain way, or in the long run, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. And you've been there before. Let's stop ignoring the signs. Let's learn, let's grow. And let's learn to love ourselves. Let's learn to love ourselves. Let's learn how strong we truly are. And not have to let God force it on us, because that's painful. Anytime God has to get involved in your growth, you ain't going to like it. Even though it's going to be good, but you ain't going to like it. You have the ability to take care of it yourself before it comes to that. That's all I got. I hope that something good was said here that someone can learn from and grow from. And whatever was not is from myself, and I need to work on it. Be blessed. Have a good day. And I'll be back. 1.